So there is a very specific securable object hierarchy in Azure, regardless of what service you are using. If you're using M365, if you're using Azure AD, if you're using Azure RM, the same hierarchy will apply. So whatever you're doing, the very top level object is called a tenant. This is equivalent to an on-prem Active Directory domain head. And so the tenant controls what is known as a trust boundary. Anything under the tenant, anybody with control of that tenant has control of everything within that tenant. Directly under a tenant, you have different object types. You have app registration objects, service principals, devices, which can be Windows, Linux, whatever, security groups, and users. If you want to actually do any kind of compute with Azure, like you want to stand up a virtual machine, or you want to have a key vault or something like that, you have to start using Azure RM or Azure Resource Manager, which is also something that people just call Azure. Now, that hierarchy... You want to try this one? Okay, hello? All right, how's that? Can you hear me in the back? Good. Okay, great. So if you are going to have compute resources managed under an Azure tenant, then that hierarchy starts with what is called a root management group. This is a management group, and under that management group, you can have one or more management groups. Under that management group, you can have one or more management groups, or none. Under a management group, and that can nest, I don't know, forever maybe, or maybe up to 255 nestings, I don't know. Under a management group, you have what is called a subscription. Under a subscription, you have what are called resource groups. And under resource groups, you have the actual resources. And so, for example, a virtual machine, a key vault, a database, or a blob.